Hi there, and welcome back to another L-39 tutorial video. This time I will cover the ADF or Automatic Direction Finder and where to find all the data that is needed to use this system. Let's just quickly go into the mission editor and create the new Caucasus mission. Add the airplane. We are going to use Makeup, because why not? Also, this is one of the few airports that does have RSBN and PRMG, which we are not covering today, but we will soon. Now we are going to use the CA version. Takeoff from Runway. Ah, fuck. Ramp, of course. Okay. Parking 1. Okay. What next? I guess we can jump right in and we'll go over everything. Let's recenter. Okay, working. Why is it out of focus? No, okay. Let's see. I think we'll just do a quick startup and then I'm going to go over the ADF system. So the quick startup is battery on, voltage, okay, of course, okay, engine, and well, because we don't yet set up all the frequencies, we can just go ahead and enable radio. Set the channel to 4. Makeup has frequency 254, which is channel 4 on this plane. As I've said before, you have to copy this from the editor. I'll show you quickly what I mean. So in the editor, when you click on the plane, you have the channel tab, and here you can set up all the channels, and the default one, channel 4, 254. Channel 0 is the default frequency is set above, like in any Flaming Cliffs module. So for instance, MiG-15. The MiG-15 doesn't have a channel page, it only has the default frequency page setting. So if you want to change the channels, because as we've seen, 2 airports can't be selected right now, that would be Novorossiysk and Sukhumi. So if you want to fly to those and you want to talk to ATC, you would have to first change any one of these frequencies to the frequency seen here. Well, not only seen here, you can see the frequency on the airport page. So Novorossiysk would be 252 and you would enter 252 into channel 1, for instance. Okay, that's that. Let's jump back in. And again, battery, voltage, engine, radio, etc. Oh, we haven't selected. We haven't selected the channel yet. Let's try this again. Okay. The radio isn't powered by DC. Well, of course it isn't. My bad. It's powered by DC, and so it needs the inverter. Okay, so we are allowed to start up, which means we can, as I've said earlier, I don't know why the real L-39 pilot I've watched on YouTube, and the manual states to disable those switches that are not needed for engine startup. I guess because of the power draw, the possible power draw. So let's do it the correct way. APU. Also, you don't need to enable the flight recorder. It will automatically enable as soon as you reach 120 kilometers per hour. Engine. Throttle to idle. Okay, looks good. Perfect. Now we can enable all circuit breakers. Okay, I don't have that. We don't need the emergency ones. Lock. Come on. And forward. Right. Let's close the covers. Let's set flaps to the middle position. Takeoff position. Okay, good to go. We keep the de-icing and the pitot tube heating off for now. We want to know what happens when we reach higher altitude. Yeah, that's it. It should be runway 4. Yeah, okay. And runway 4, just as with landing, it means the direction of the runway. So the direction would be this, and this is also how you know where to taxi the airplane to. So I need to taxi to the left to get on the left of the runway. If we would be on the other direction, we would need to go right to reach the other end of the runway, if that makes any sense. Okay, so the airplane is started. Before we taxi and all that stuff, I'm gonna quickly paste some numbers that I've copied. This is a cool feature, if I can find the right page. I really need to delete the default airdrome charts because I don't use the keyboard for this anyway. Now it looks good. Nope. Okay, let's just paste it and see what happens. Yeah, okay. You first need to paste something to get this Kneeboard page. Okay, so we have already covered the frequency, the channel 4, RSBN and PRMG you can see on the F10 map. For instance, in the airport info, channel 34 and 36. But you can also see the channel 34 right here. And this also means that you should be able to listen to the Morse code that is seen here and that belongs to this channel and ISBN beacon. And the same is true for the inner and outer NDBs, non-directional beacons. Every NDB on the map has its own Morse code, and that is extremely awesome. So, for instance, as you can see here, this is the inner beacon, the outer beacon with the frequency and the Morse code. But when we go over here, this is an NDB just somewhere on the map, and it also has a frequency and a Morse code. So if we would like, for instance, to navigate to here, we would set this frequency and listen for this Morse code to know that we have the right frequency and thus the right NDB selected. But I'm not going to use an NDB that's too far away because you need to be high up in the air to get the signal from the NDB because it's line of sight only, of course. And there are altitude and signal strength tables out there. Let's see if I have it copied somewhere. Doesn't seem that way. No, I will need to do that. I'm gonna copy it to my checklist just to see how high I have to fly for the maximum range of the NDBs of, I think it's 120 kilometers. And RSBN goes up to 200 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we now know where to get those numbers from. So that's the outer and inner, and this is the runway heading, because usually sometimes you only have beacons for one runway or for one runway heading. So here you can see it has beacons for the different headings, but note, yeah, exactly, the Morse code is different. So if we need to land from this side, not from runway number 4, not on runway number 4, meaning 40 degrees, but we have to come from the other side because wind directions changed or whatever. We would then need to change the NDB tuning to listen to R and RK, not to D and DG. Okay, so what do I mean by that? First, we enable the volume output so that we can hear the Morse code. The ADF is currently selected on the outer channel, channel 1, because it has 2 channels more or less. And you don't, it's not only used, as I've said before, with in and outer beacons on airports, but also to navigate around the map. And you can select and you can set 2 frequencies and 2 navigation beacons at once. For now I'm going to select this beacon right here as the first beacon or the outer beacon, and then I'm going to select this one right here. No, I'm gonna show you the automatic switching of the beacons, right? So I'm gonna set this to inner beacon first and this to the outer beacon, and then when we have flown over this point, I'm going to quickly set this as the next inner beacon. So this is 682 MA. Okay, switch it on. Volume and brightness up to maximum. Let's first let's switch it to TLG, which means we then can see the signal strength. So, man, I am bad at remembering 682. We are now at position 1 or inner. 6. Let's first set A2. Okay, the lighting is currently a little bit fucked up. And now it's back. 682. We have full signal strength. That's perfect. Now let's listen to the Morse code. M A. Did you hear that? Dash dash dot dash. And that's this beacon here. Okay, perfect. So beacon 1 is set. Let's switch to 0 or outer channel. And we have said we are using the actual landing beacons now. This is 289. Oh, okay, handy. It's already set at 8. Oh, fuck me sideways. Yeah, I've totally screwed that up. God damn it. And that's also the bad thing right here. Because the channel that you have selected here should illuminate the frequency selector, like really bright, so that you know that you have the right selector. But you can turn this whatever you want, it's just not really bright. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter if the instrument pin lighting is selected, because that's a different system. Yeah. You can't really tell which one is currently selected. You only see it when it's really, really dark out there. I guess that's a bug in the plane right now. Okay, we have set inner to MA. Let's listen to it. Okay, we are back again. So now we are going to set the outer beacon, and the outer beacon is this one, you stupid cunt. So let's switch to, and we have 289. Nine. 289. Signal strength is good, and we need D dash dot dot. Okay, perfect. DG? Why DG? Oh, it's okay, I've written that down in the wrong order. Good to know. So the system does work. So this should be DG. This is D. Perfect. Another bug in my checklist. Okay, so but it just goes to show that this system actually does really work. Now you can see the ADF is currently at 0. That's because we are still in setup mode only. So it's currently only set to antenna. Now if let's switch off the volume, but we don't need that anymore. If we switch it to CMAN, manual mode, it goes to the next beacon, or the beacon that is set. It's currently set to the outer beacon. We are going to switch to the inner beacon because we want to fly there. This is our next waypoint. Okay, perfect. And to test that the ADF is really working, as if that wasn't enough, you can then use this switch to move the needle, and it should automatically go back. Perfect. The automatic mode is for landing. If that means it will switch automatically from the outer beacon to the inner beacon, but only if the gears are down. Okay, let's try this out. I think I still have to ask for taxi. No, we already are allowed to taxi, right? Okay. Let's disengage parking brake. This is a really fun plane to learn. I haven't yet needed any radio or communication or frequency data while flying DCS, so this is a first. I mean, I did use it a little bit in the P-51, but it was such a simple way. it doesn't really compare. Let's request takeoff. Oh, way too fast. Okay. Yeah, we are gonna take off whatever he says. Okay, we are cleared. QFE 74431. That's this number right here. So this number right here, that's the barometer pressure setting, and it's set to the correct pressure because it is at 0. Right. Okay. Max power. Releasing brakes. At first we still have to use differential braking, but now we can use the radars. Yeah. 150 we start to rotate. Nice and easy, and we're off. Easy peasy. Gears up. Flaps up. And at 100 meter height, altitude, sorry, we are going to pull the throttle back to nominal value. That means about 103%. Okay, we have taken off, and so we can fly to the set direction. Let's level out. Okay, perfect. This is the ADI, which we are, and this is the RMI, the radio magnetic indicator, or HSI in Western planes. This is used with ISBN and with the landing PRMG system, but we are only using this right now, the radio compass, or ADF. Okay. Well, it should be very near. Somewhere around here should be the NDB. Oh, there he is. This is an NDB transmitter. And when we fly over it, it will switch back. Yes, we've passed it. Okay, so now we are quickly going to set up the inner beacon. This is 591. A very stable aircraft. I didn't have to trim it anywhere, only a little bit downwards so that we aren't gaining altitude too fast. Okay, so where were we? Right, 591. Perfect signal strength, and it should be D. D is dash dot dot. I'm not hearing anything. Oh, stupid me. Okay, that's it. Let's switch to automatic mode and the other beacon, and we'll fly back to the airport. One thing first, you may be wondering how I pasted the text which I copied in Windows into the Kneeboard in DCS, and that's a special button. I think it's in UI layer. Yeah, paste from clipboard to Kneeboard. That's the control binding right there, and with that I can copy the text from Windows and paste it into Kneeboard. Very handy for VR flying. Okay, now we have a new heading. We can test it again. Yep, switches back. Of course, this we don't have any range for this, so we have to do this visually. But we can set the course line. We know that the runway is at 40 degrees. Well, around 40 degrees. It's not exactly 40. It should be visible here, right? Runway 4. Not really, I think. I think the Kneeboard pages do have that. So makeup has runway 4 is 31 degrees, right? As you can see here. Okay, we have the airport right over there, so let's throttle down and go down and make sure we are going to land safely. Let's enable air brake. I think that's at the bottom of the plane. Yeah. And the air brake will automatically deploy if you are going too fast. Flaps can be set, I think, lower than 300 kilometers per hour. I haven't tried gears yet, but we could and we should. As you can see, we are deviating a little bit. The course line is off to the left, even though we are flying straight to the NDB. That means we are not aligned on the runway. Now it should be okay. Let's check. See, yeah, nearly. But 31 degrees isn't correct either. Yeah, it won't let. Let's lower the gears. The inner the outer NDB is right there, right behind the trees, and then the inner NDB. And when we fly over the outer, now that we have the gears down, it will automatically switch to the inner. Also lowering the flaps. This is the marker for outer beacon, and it has switched to I, to inner, as you can see here. We need a little bit more gas. We are very low on speed. Let's disengage the air brake, although at this speed it won't really do anything anyway. Okay, very low. I've concentrated on the wrong thing. Okay, so, and as you can see, we are now flying to the inner beacon, which is right in front of us. Also, the markers, front gear is down, flaps, back gear, flaps and right back gear, perfect, just to check, okay. Explaining stuff really means that this will be a bad landing, but I think I'm going to manage. Okay, vertical speed -2, so perfect. Okay, that was easy. Throttle to idle and slightly brake, only a little bit, so that you don't skid. Okay, so where's the nearest exit? Right up there, okay. Of course. I don't speak Russian, but it sounds really funny in my ears. Okay, a little bit more gas. And I think we are just going to stop right next to the tower. Oh, come on, you bitch. Fuck. Yeah. Not very straight. Usually I do that better, but okay. Whatever. Parking brake. Okay. We already distinguished the pressure, cockpit pressure. Let's open the canopy. And I haven't yet read what the correct shutdown procedure is, but I'm just going to disable all circuit breakers, which means no power to any system. Then I'm going to set the throttle to stop, which stops the engine circuit breaker and battery. And we are good to go and ready to relight the engine. But that's all for now. Next time we are gonna go over the RSBN. Oh, I can't show you. Over the RSBN panel and the PRMG landing system, as well as the gyrometric compass. We could have done this in this video actually, but it does correlate with the gyrometric compass control panel, does correlate with the RMI, and that's used with RSBN, so we are gonna go over this dial, this control panel and this control panel in the next video. Okay, see you then.